Welcome to another edition of the Friday Faceoff on 1230foxsports.com. Eric Chase, Matt Shaggy Colbreth. He will lead our discussion today. Sit back, get a beverage or three, relax, enjoy our dialogue.
A beverage or three? Am I that long-winded?
Well, brevity is not our strong suit.
No, it isn't. And it's a slightly complicated story. We all know what happened on Wednesday with the Cleveland Indians and the Oakland A's. Top of the ninth, one-run game. They appear to hit what would be the game-tying home run, except the umps on the field call it a double. Looking at the video review, it very clearly went off the railing. Umps go into the video review, come out and say, no, it's still a double. Okay, that was a travesty in its own right. And of course, I'm using travesty, relatively speaking. The insinuation comes out today. Peter Gammons was on the Dan Patrick Show, heard 9 to noon here on Toledo's Fox Sports 1230. You like that?
Good plug.
There you go.
I told you, you're on your second drink now.
And they make the very carefully worded insinuation, not so much accusation, that the reason Angel Hernandez did not overturn the home run call on the video review is because he doesn't believe that the video review should be in baseball. And therefore, since they're in their own tiny room inside the stadium, nobody gets to see what they're seeing or why they're seeing or why they make the calls they decide to make, that why not? We're, we don't like the video review, and it's our final say anyway, so we're going to say double, even though it's very quite clearly a home run. And so, ta-da. Now, that really does kind of throw up the whole legitimacy of the video replay in baseball right up into the air, because if you can't, not only is it very questionable to begin with about video replay being in baseball, some people want more of it, some people want less of it, but if the umps aren't going to use it properly anyways, then what's the point? Yeah,
you might as well just call it WWE MLB. You lose credibility, especially when Joe Torre comes out and said it was a judgment call. It was wrong, and we're not going to go back and play the game, even though they easily could have done it before yesterday's early afternoon start anyway. And we're all just scratching our heads. Okay, life goes on. You hope the Indians or the A's don't have a one-game difference at the end of the season, making the playoffs or whatnot. Now, look, Oakland, they could have granted them the home run, and Oakland still could have lost, but you don't know. You didn't give them the opportunity. My initial thought back to the other night was, can we stop painting the top of the fences yellow? Because, look, it's got to go out of the ballpark. And two, somebody upstairs pointed this out. Paint the railings a different color, or get rid of the railings, or look, if the ball goes into the seats, home run. If it's in the field, it's a double, or whatever it is. Let's get to the architecture of these problems and make it easier on the umpires, so we don't have to once again waste time during a baseball game for a review. Now, this revelation about Angel Hernandez, or Peter Gammons' insinuation that Angel Hernandez is acting petulant and vehemently against any kind of video replay in baseball. I am tired of traditionalists in baseball who are against speeding up the game and other principles that just people stand for decades and then a century of baseball. The better way having gone about this is, instead of like a 15-year-old teenager saying, no, I'm going to stay out as late as I want to stay out. I'm going to drink beer if you don't say. No, if he really wanted to prove his point, instead of, again, taking away from the legitimacy of something that most baseball fans, including myself, want, more replay in the game to get it right because the technology is there, he could have drawn attention to himself on a platform where he could have garnered more respect. Because remember, he didn't give an interview, and that's what ticked a lot of people off. People wanted to know, what did you see? Did you see exactly what everyone else saw at home, which he did, and then he decided to still, make it a double. What he should have done was rule it a home run, and then after the game, get a reporter. Hey, ask me about this. Or, trust me, it's easy to find a reporter in the clubhouse, in the locker room.
That's true.
If you're an umpire and you start walking towards a guy with a microphone or a notebook or whatever, he will hear what you have to say. Angel Hernandez goes up to a reporter for whoever, Cleveland.com, whatever, MLB.com. Hey, listen. We use the replay, but I just want to let you know, as an umpire, and I speak for many in this line of work, we are against replay. That's a more mature and professional way of going about it, and it can endear yourself to the people who don't want replay in the game, or some people who were on the fence about it. It was very petulant, very immature, if this is true what Peter Gammons is insinuating.
There is a certain sect of old school thought in refereeing, as you talked about, that thought Jim Joyce shouldn't have admitted that he made a mistake on the blown Armando Galarraga perfect game. That's incredulous to me that people would be like, you don't admit you make a mistake because then that shows cracks in the wall. We've known that the human element is a part of baseball, quote unquote. We know you make mistakes. Man up and admit to the mistakes. So to say, oh, well, the video replay shows that we make mistakes. We know you make mistakes. So man up and admit to it. The situation you're going to have here, if they want to keep the legitimacy of the video replay in baseball, especially after these shenanigans, if these allegations are true, and quite frankly, the thought is strong enough to me that I'm just going to presume they are, then what they need to do, they need to go to, and everybody who listens to me knows every time I start talking about hockey, they'll roll their eyes. But if you hear me out on this one, okay? What the NHL does in their video replay, it's an entirely separate building. It's in Toronto. They're monitoring every game that's going on that night. And when a replay is called for, they say, hey, Toronto, we need you to look at this play. They take a look at the play. They're the ones to make the call whether or not to overturn or to uphold. You can't leave it to the umps that are on the field now if they're going to make kind of calls like this, simply for the sake of, well, I don't like video replay, so or I don't like the Yankees, so I'm going to do this. You have a separate building that, where they're not a part of the game, but they watch the replay. They're the ones that make the thumbs up or the thumbs down. End of discussion. That's how you're going to have to retain legitimacy in video replay if you're going to continue to use it in the major leagues. Or just knock it out and, do whatever.
I understand your point about the legitimacy of replay and how, well, if Angel did it, I'm going to do it too. And then you've got a half dozen calls over the course of the season that are clearly the wrong calls, but the umpires who have the final say, they are authoritarians. They are the totalitarians over the game. Maybe keep somebody else out of the playoffs, lose a batting title because of it. I don't know. To me, it's more credibility towards the game and the people who oversee the rules of the game. Who's your favorite umpire?
Yes, exactly.
No. Tell me.
Oh, what was this?
You don't have one?
No.
Do you like umpires?
You know what? I don't hate them as much as a lot of people do.
But you don't really like umpires.
I don't cheer for the umpires, but right. I understand. I understand when they make screw-ups because they are human.
The act that Angel Hernandez may have committed, if this is what Peter Gammons is truly speaking of with his insinuation, not going to endear umpires to fans. And ultimately, look, baseball can do whatever it wants, but at some point, baseball is going to have to be the elderly gentleman who decides to get on email and go, forget this, I'm not going to get on this internet thing, it's a fad. Eventually, you're going to have to keep up with things. And old
people love Facebook now. Just saying.
I always ask, why wouldn't you want to get it right? And as, teenagers become 20-somethings, as 20-somethings become 30-somethings, and as you age, and you want to continue to endear your game to fans coming along, and once again, maybe be America's pastime, you've got to live to the generation. You've got to appeal to the generation who grow up knowing that they can correct their mistakes with technology. And if you're going to continue to be the 78-year-old guy who says, you know what? I don't need the internet. I got the newspaper. Well, eventually they're going to stop making the newspaper. So you're going to have to go another way to keep having fans, or else you'll be the WWE and you'll be entertaining for some, but ultimately you won't have the credibility that you want.
Do you know what? The technology's here. I mentioned this yesterday on This Just Sports. If you ever watch a tennis game and someone calls for a check, they have the technology that shows exactly where that ball landed and whether or not it was on the line. Precisely down to the millimeter. The technology is there. Use it.
We're building spaceships. Let's pretend we're in the future. We're building spaceships to get off the dying planet. We're gonna go to Saturn.
All right.
And we're gonna live there in the oceans of whatever the cloud or the ring is there, because the Earth is dying, like the Will Smith movie, I guess.
Okay.
And then there's some people there saying, I'm gonna go down with the ship. I'm gonna go down. Okay, fine. Well, you die. The rest of us are gonna take advantage of technology and live a long, healthy life. Let me know when you get swallowed into the sun. You're right. If it's there, use it. And it's so simple. If you can get it right, why the hell not? Just do it quickly.
Look, the sun's been doing us fine for generations. It's not going to grow up and swallow us whole. No, we're not. We're going to stay right here on Earth. We're not going to go to Saturn.
Umpires got to get it right. Umpires also have to remember that you can't act like that, or else really no one will ever like you. And you're going to push fans away. And even though they're looking for a new commissioner, or will be soon, the commissioner at the end of the day, yes, he's got to take care of the 30 owners in Major League Baseball, but more so he's got to take care of the, 30 million fans who come to his parks each and every year, watch the games. If you lose those people, it doesn't matter what the 30 owners can do for you. That's our Friday Faceoff. I told you, no brevity in this segment, my friends. Eric Chase and Shaggy, Toledo's Fox Sports 12.